Hi, this is Dr. Greg Gillum, CEO of Human Fusion. Hope you guys are doing well. A couple of days ago, I asked a quiz question. Would you use an ipsative assessment to hire someone with? And hopefully you said no, because that would be the correct answer. And then I promised that I would come back and we'd do a little bit deeper dive into ipsative versus normative behavioral assessments, okay? So it turns out that about 70% of all employers in the United States use some form of assessments. Now, it's not clear what percentage of those are used incorrectly, because some of them are used for hiring, some of them are used for development, etc. But be very safe in saying that a lot of them are used incorrectly. Now, are you using them to hire with or to develop your employees with? That's the key differentiating question. Make sure that you're using them for the intended use, because the consequences of not using them correctly are poor job fit, substandard performance, productivity, very misguided career path. Potentially, if you start someone out in a management role and they're not management material, they might stay and stagnate in that role for a very long time. And there's legal risks. If you don't use a normative assessment that's been approved for hiring, then there's legal indefensibility if something goes wrong and you are actually sued for that. All right, let's talk about ipsative assessments. They have their place. They're very, very good. I use them all the time. I just try to use them correctly. So ipsative assessments indicates orientation and relative strengths of the person being tested, and they compare items within a person, not compared to other people. So, for instance, am I more introverted or am I more extroverted? Well, I know from normative assessments that I'm more introverted, but I could say on the assessment that I'm an extroverted person because I act like I'm extroverted. I have years and years of practice of changing my innate behavior to act like I'm an extroverted person, but I am extraordinarily introverted. And so the bottom line is I could literally lie and cheat on an ipsative test and it wouldn't know the difference. And so the purpose then of ipsative assessments is just for self-awareness. It's for development. Hopefully you've gained enough trust in your people that you know they're not going to try to cheat or they're not going to try to fudge the data, and they're going to answer things correctly. And then you can use that to help them develop, see their strengths, see their weaknesses compared to the behaviors that you've observed. So that they're very good for that. So Myers-Briggs, DISC, predictive index, Enneagram, those are all ipsative assessments that are very good for self-awareness and development. You would use none of them for hiring an individual, none of them. You use normative assessments to hire people with because they indicate a person's trait measured against and compared to other professional people. In fact, the Winslow dynamics profile that we use here at Human Fusion norms every 2 years based on 2,000 other professional people in the United States and Canada. So it has a very robust data set that your behaviors are normed against. What it gives me as a coach is predictive validity about how you will behave in comparison to other people. And that's what we want. That's the management gold that says if you've acted this way in the past, you will act this way in the future. And so if we want this, that's a good thing. If we don't want this, that's a bad thing. And we need to explore that. I never ever tell HR professionals that the Winslow is the end-all be-all. It's like whatever the Winslow says, that's what you have to do. No. It's a tool used to guide your interviewing process. So Winslow Dynamics profile, there's the OPQ32, there's the Caliper Index, there's the Hogan Personality Inventory. There's a lot of good normative assessments out there that are used for hiring. So hiring and succession planning, those are the two real key areas where you're comparing people against other people. And that's when you have to use normative assessment for training and development and for team building, self-awareness, that type of thing. ipsative tests are fine. But when you hire people and when you're looking at replacing people in the succession planning process, use normative assessments. If you like this type of management-related videos, please subscribe to Human Fusion, and we'll keep you up to date on all the latest trends that are affecting management practice today.